My favorite places to buy aftermarket classic Mercedes parts.
Ooh.
It's going to be a fun topic, guys. I'm sure a lot of you wonder, where do you get a screw? If you need like a special countersunk screw that Mercedes doesn't sell anymore, that's like a 2.4 millimeter thread that holds like the rocker trim on your W113, you probably go to yourself, there's got to be somebody that sells this. And so I'm going to help you answer all of these questions in this video. Starting at I decided to do 5. So starting at number 5, I love to go to eBay. You have to have your part number. You have to be good at searching, but I buy a lot of stuff on eBay. I would love it if eBay would send us some sponsorship money, but you know, we spend a lot of time on eBay looking for good used parts, new old stock parts, etc. And I think eBay offers the greatest variety in a marketplace of individual sellers with unusual and unique parts. Let's go to number 4 though. Number 4 is a little bit more interesting. Number 4 is SL Shop. SL Shop is located in the UK, and they have a great part store, and they have a lot of great reproduction stuff. Their turnaround time is fast. They have an very easy platform to use. Everything is marked, whether it's in stock or out of stock. And on top of that, there's a lot of, I feel a lot of disclosure about whether the part is a genuine Mercedes part or a reproduction part. In fact, my major hiccup with SL Shop is pretty minor. It has to do with shipping costs. For some reason, their algorithm for shipping things from the United States suggests shipping costs that are usually upwards of $30, and sometimes for anything that weighs more than a few ounces, $50, $60, $70. So it would be nice if they would get this resolved, but they are quite good in that area. Now, number 3 comes in as Neimoller. Why do I like Neimoller so much? Well, Neimoller has probably the best selection of parts for 50s Mercedes and 60s Mercedes of anywhere on the planet. And one of the reasons that I like dealing with Neimoller so much is because shipping is fast, it's straightforward, it's easy to pay them, customer service is great, and they have an excellent selection of items. However, I have caught Neimoller doing one thing that I don't like, and this is why they're number 3. They will not specify whether something is genuine Mercedes or reproduction. And sometimes when items are available from Mercedes, even if Mercedes marks them as no longer available, Neimoller will mark them available, and they will sell them to you at somewhat of a higher price than Mercedes. I would say it could be pretty significant. It could be about 20 to 25% more. Now, this isn't really a slight against them because a lot of people know where to look for Neimoller, but they don't know who to contact in Mercedes. But I think that they need to clearly specify whether something is a genuine Mercedes part that was from Mercedes stock, or whether or not it's a reproduction part, which SL Shop does a much better job of doing. So it would be nice if they clarified that. Now, shipping with Neimoller is amazing. It is fast, like no questions asked fast. Like you'll have it in 3 days, and the costs are reasonable for transatlantic shipping. So this is one of the reasons why I love dealing with Neimoller. It's basically like ordering from a place in the United States. Number 2, there's an Italian website called Spar-to, S-P-A-R-E-T-O. Spar-to sells a lot of parts for 123, 126, 107, 113, and it's always going to be aftermarket stuff. You're not going to Spar-to to buy genuine Mercedes. You're going there if you want a set of TRW upper controllers for your 126 and no stateside supplier has them. You are going there if you want an INA belt tensioner for your 300 SE. You're going there if you want to find high quality brake rotors for your 107. You know, they've got it, and they've got it from multiple suppliers. And if they don't have it, they will tell you when it's supposed to be back in production on their website, which is the single best feature that they offer. So if I want a set of M117 exhaust valves and they're currently not available from Intervalve, they will post a note on their website that'll say will be available like 02, 09, 25. So I know that in 4 months or whenever, February 9th is 2025, Intervalve has stated, yes, we will have your valves produced and ready for sale by then. And this feature has been extremely reliable. It also allows me to see the availability of parts from 5 or 6 different manufacturers. For example, if I want an AC dryer from NRF for a 300D, I know that I can buy that dryer on Spar-to, and they're not going to sub it with a Mahle dryer or a Bear dryer, which are made in Taiwan, whereas the NRF dryers, I'm really not sure where they're made, but they seem to be higher quality than Bear or Mahle. So, what is my number one go-to site for Classic Mercedes parts? Well, that honor falls to Authentic Classics. Now, why do I buy a lot of stuff from Authentic Classics? They're not perfect. Nobody is. It's a very hard job to be perfect at. And in fact, you could say that Mercedes has been imperfect for a long time. But we should count our blessings. So I like Authentic Classics because they focus on reproducing small, vulnerable, fragile, hard to get parts for cars from like the 1950s to the 1970s. That means if I need screws, that means if I need, trim parts, if I need these little tiny items like a radio knob, a shift lever handle, and Mercedes doesn't sell it, Authentic Classics will either have a high quality reproduction or an NOS part available. As far as shipping costs go with Authentic, I used to be a little frustrated with their shipping methods, but with the cost of materials, shipping materials, and shipping going up, their prices for shipping stuff have stayed relatively the same. So in the face of inflation, they've managed to maintain what I feel is a reasonable shipping cost and reasonable shipping time. Authentic Classics is also a small business, which I really like. It's not a large company, it's a family-owned business. And it's generally like they don't make mistakes when they send stuff to you. If there's a problem, they'll call you and let you know. Their prices, I feel, are incredibly reasonable. And some of the stuff they have on the site, like the replacement light housings for the heater levers and a W113. I mean, what a find. Like, you're not going to get this stuff anywhere. And those things fall apart. Anybody who's built heater levers on their 113 knows they're just not anything, it's just, you can't find anything. You'd have to previously buy an entire heater lever assembly, but Authentic actually has the parts. So there's some honorable mentions that I want to bring up in this video. And some of them just didn't make the list because I look at the amount of stuff I purchased from them. And I also look at the amount of items that they carry in their site. So the first honorable mention goes to Bellmetric. And Bellmetric is more a hardware site, so you can buy bolts, nuts, screws, rivets, etc. But you can also buy hoses and hose clamps. And in fact, they're my go-to site for Coline hose parts. If you're not familiar with Coline, every hose on your Mercedes was either supplied by Coline or Argus. Sometimes they'd be supplied by some fringe manufacturers, but any hose that carries vacuum, fuel, oil, there's pretty much a Coline solution. And Bellmetric is where you get all the parts to assemble those Coline hoses, including the correct crimpers if you want them. The number 2 honorable mention that I wanted to mention is Koenig's. They have classic radio parts. Number 3 is KHM or Cabrio.de. They sell a lot of seat parts. And then number 4, I guess you could break their number 4 honorable mention up several ways. But there are a number of sites in Germany that are pretty good. mbclassics.de, DB Depot. They're, you know, there's probably about 10 of these sites that are linked to businesses throughout Germany that have some good reproduction stuff. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and I hope you find it helpful. Please use it as a guide to sourcing restoration parts for your classic Mercedes. And if you want more great information like this, please like, share, and subscribe. Tap the bell for notifications, and we'll see you in the future. Thank you.